The lobby of Brightech Tower gleamed with chrome, glass, and a kind of cold perfection that made Maria clutch her baby tighter. At just 22, she was a single mother, working as a part-time janitor to afford food, diapers, and a single room in a cheap neighborhood. Her baby, Liam, barely 9 months old, giggled innocently in arms, unaware of the sterile tension that surrounded his mother. Maria had come that day to clean the 35th floor executive offices. The task was supposed to be done overnight, but a schedule mix-up meant she had to come during business hours. She felt out of place among men in tailored suits and women in high heels and silk blouses. She wore worn jeans, a faded t-shirt, and a baby sling. The receptionist barely looked up as Maria requested elevator access. Service elevators down. You will have to take the executive one, she said flatly. Maria's heart pounded. The executive elevator. She'd heard the stories. It was reserved for the elite, mostly for him, Dorian Blackstone. The CEO of Brightech. Cold, ruthless, brilliant. A billionaire at 35 with a reputation for firing employees over a single typo and suing his own cousin over a parking space. Maria entered the sleek mirrored elevator with Liam and pressed 35. As the doors began to close, a hand suddenly stopped them. In stepped him. Dorian Blackstone, tall, dark-suited, with steel-grey eyes that scanned Maria like a barcode. He frowned. This elevator is restricted. He said, I'm sorry. The service one isn't working. I was told. I don't care what you were told, he snapped, pressing his lips into a tight line. Who told you to bring a child to a corporate tower? Maria flinched but didn't reply. The elevator began to move. Floor 2, 3, 4. Suddenly, a shudder. A loud clunk, the lights flickered. Then dashed darkness. The elevator jerked violently before stopping with a loud screech. Liam began to cry. No, no, no. SHHH baby, Maria whispered, rocking him as panic crept in. Dorian reached for the emergency phone. Dead. His expression turned grim. He tapped his phone. No signal. Maria tried hers. Same. We're stuck, she said quietly. No kidding, Dorian muttered, already removing his jacket and trying to pry open the emergency panel. Nothing budged. Maria crouched in the corner, cradling her baby, who was now wheeling. He's hungry, she said helplessly. I was. Just going to feed him after getting upstairs. You brought no food? Dorian asked incredulously. I didn't expect to be trapped. Hours passed. The elevator remained still. The temperature climbed. Liam whimpered from thirst and heat. Maria, sweating and pale, fanned him desperately. Wait. Dorian finally said. He took off his Italian silk tie, soaked it with a water bottle from his briefcase, and handed it to her. Wrap it round his forehead. It'll keep him cool. She looked stunned. Thank you. He nodded curtly but said nothing more. Another hour. No rescue. Maria's face paled. I have nothing to feed him. Dorian opened his briefcase again. All I have is a protein bar and a flask of water. Take it. Her eyes widened. No, that's yours. Give it to the baby, he said, pushing it toward her. He's more important. She fed Liam bits of the softened protein bar and trickled water into his tiny mouth. Slowly, he calmed. You're not what I expected, she said. And what did you expect? Dorian asked, leaning against the wall. A heartless CEO who steps over the poor and crushes anyone weaker. He smirked faintly. I usually do. Silence stretched between them, broken only by Liam's soft breathing. Why are you really here? He finally asked. I'm cleaning the floor where the elite live, she replied with a tired smile. Trying to survive. I was going to college once, studying to be a nurse. Then Liam's dad left. Everything collapsed. Dorian looked at her for a long moment. You gave it all up for him? No, she said. I didn't give anything up. I made a choice. I chose him. Something in that answer cracked through Dorian's cold exterior. He looked away. When I was 7, he said slowly, my mother left. My father raised me with nothing but money and expectations. I never cried because I had no one to hear it. Maria stared. She chose money over me, he added, almost bitterly, and I've spent my life making sure no one ever had power over me again. Liam stirred, and Dorian surprised her by gently reaching out. Can I hold him? Cautiously. Maria handed Liam over. Dorian, stiff at first, adjusted the baby in his arms. Liam blinked at him with sleepy curiosity, then giggled and tugged at Dorian's collar. For the first time in years, Dorian smiled. You're not so scary after all, Maria said with a soft laugh. Suddenly a jolt. The elevator groaned back to life. We're moving, she gasped. The lights returned. A voice crackled through the speaker. We've restored power. You'll be at the lobby shortly. As the doors finally opened, the lobby staff gasped. Sir. Are you all right? Dorian handed Liam back to Maria and said, get this woman medical attention, a private room, and tell HR I want her resumed by morning. Maria blinked. What? He turned to her. Finish your nursing degree. I'll pay for it. She stared in disbelief. Why? He looked at Liam. Because he deserves a mother who's more than just surviving. And maybe I need to remember what it means to be human again. She choked up. Thank you. Mr. Blackstone, call me Dorian. He said, then added with a smirk, and tell your son he's the only person who ever pulled my tie and got away with it. 6 months later, Maria walked into Brightech Tower, this time not as a janitor, but in a nurse's assistant uniform. She had a scholarship, a daycare stipend, and a growing friendship with a CEO who'd once been untouchable daughters for Dorian. He no longer ate lunch alone, because every Thursday, in the executive lounge, a baby giggled on his lap and one spore. Mom sat beside him, reminding him of the elevator that changed everything and everyone.